Hello, everybody. This is James here with Watch Collectors Guild. Hello to all my fellow watch collectors. I know it's been a little while since my last video. I want to get more regular with making this content, but sometimes life gets in the way, work, kicking my butt, and studying for some stuff on the side as well. But it is very nice to have this hobby to share with y'all. So I made this channel to kind of share my experiences in watch collecting, but I also, as I've come along, want to sell some watches too. So kind of see what that develops into. And that's what I'm going to be talking about today. Actually, is a watch that I'm going to have listed on my eBay and Mercari. Watch Collectors Guild is my seller name, and I'll have links as well to where you can find that. But what I have in front of you is a Vostok. So I did, especially last year, bought the Vostoks, and I do like collecting them. Also, like sharing them with collectors. So I thought this would be a watch that I do have it in my personal collection. This is actually the one for sale, but I am wearing my personal one right here, and I have done two modifications to it that I've matched on this one I'm selling here. So what this is a Vostok Komandirskie, and the model is 650539-22. So this watch, it has a different movement than what I've seen in a lot of the automatic Vostoks. So this too is an automatic, but this watch uses the 2426.12 movement as opposed to the, let's see here, 2416B that I see in a lot of the Amphibia and regular automatic Komandirskie. And that's because this watch has both an hour hand and I should say a 12-hour hand and a 24-hour hand. So it has your military time that it tracks as well. And it's not the it's not like a full GMT where you can move the GMT, the 24-hour hand, through the crown. This one, it's always going to move alongside with this regular 12-hour hand, except it'll just track the same time in 24-hour format. So like you can see here, it's 8 p.m. and with this bezel set normally with 12 o'clock at the top, it is military 20 hours, 20 o'clock. So with this, you could just leave it like that. So if you just want to know, okay, it's kind of an AM PM type thing, or you could turn this bezel. So you could say, okay, if it's 20 hours, 20 now, here where it's 8 p.m., you could also turn this to 22 and then just track, okay, well, I want to also keep track of this other time zone where over there it's 10 p.m. or 22. So, or you could just, if you just want to track like a 24-hour timer, you could still do that like a normal bezel. Just set this to where you want to start, and let it go. So these Vostoks, you don't hear any clicking, and that's because they're friction bezels. So they just use a wire within here that's just gives a little friction to keep it from moving. And if you were to buy this normally, let's see, you would have this stainless steel bracelet, which is a good bracelet actually for Vostok. Usually the Vostok bracelets aren't that great, but this one is actually a heavier, nicer one. This is what the unmodified would look like. So I'm going to start with just selling the one modified one, but just so you can see the comparison. Now that second modification, you can see over here, there's a case back. This is the normal case back it has. And that's because I added an exhibition case back to it. So you could see that really cool Vostok movement, which you know has that added complication to it of 24 hours. And this is a heavy duty case back too. So I got this from a seller in Germany. They make these, I guess, or have a source for these. This is the more heavy duty one to match the actual depth rating of the watch, which is, let's see here. Oh, you know what? I think it's listed on this. Yeah. Sorry for that pause there. This is 200 meters. So this glass, according to the seller, is this 200 meter sapphire glass resistant, water resistant case back. And this is like really easy modification too. So you can see here, it just, these two pins, it just rests like that. And there's a ring that you can kind of see here. If you have like one of these tools, you can undo the ring. The ring comes off, unscrews, and then you can just take off this case back if you wanted to put the original back on, and then screw the ring back. So let's get a closer look. I didn't go into the beauty of this dial, but you can see it's a black dial. It's got the sub dial for seconds, the hour hand with the large triangle, so like kind of diver style. It's got the nice red 24-hour hour hand and the red seconds hand. And let me turn this. So the crown on these guys, I've got my Mickey Mouse clothes on since this is a watch that's going to be sold. Okay, you can see the crown unscrews, and then it's kind of wobbly, but that's intentional. That's actually a safety mechanism to protect the stem. And then from there, you can turn to adjust, and you can see that these always move in tandem to keeping 12 hours and 24 hours. So I don't think it's like a full GMT to where you could like move the GMT hand, the 24-hour hand by itself. or at least maybe I never figured it out. And if you know how to do that, then just leave it in the comments. But yeah, you got your Komandirskie, and yeah, it's got an overall military look to it. Well, let's look at the loom, because that is one of the best parts of these Vostoks. And then we'll go into, well, let's go into the measurements first, and then I'll end with the loom. So measurements. Okay, so 41.4 millimeters in diameter. And that's, they call it roughly 42. But you can see this this bezel here, it's kind of gnarled bezel, sticks out a little bit further than the case. But with that measured, it's 41 point. This is what I said earlier, the 41.4. And the weight on this guy, definitely light with the silicone bracelet that I added, which the silicone bracelet is also Vostok. So that's in ounces. Let's get it in grams. Get a fresh weight for you guys. So 98 grams. So right under 100. And a loom shot. Okay, so we have, let's get a close up. We have the hours loomed as the dots you see for the 12 hours. And let's get these hands turned. That's a little bit confusing at the 12. Okay, here we go. So the hour hand is loomed, the minute hand is loomed, and the GMT, or the 24-hour hand is loomed, along with this 0 o'clock marker triangle. All right, y'all. And as always, if you were at this point and you're still watching, please subscribe to my channel. It helps me out, gets me on the right path for this this watch collecting, sharing experience. Until next time. Oh, I didn't even mention, just in case. You will also get, if you buy this, you will get the case, the manual, the original bracelet, the original case back, and of course this modified watch. Alright, y'all. If you're interested, check it out. Happy collecting.